Okay, let's get this started. Just gonna send a link to people so they know that I'm doing cool things. Let's see. We have still figuring this out. Do we have all the weird community title stuff? No. Let's do that. Title pixel art doodlin. Go live notification. Hooray. Many exclamation points. Game category. Creative development. Right? Maybe. Communities. Don't know what those are. Pixel art. Drawing. Badassery. That's good. Do I need to do anything to update information? Updated. Good. We're doing it. Yes. Hello. Thanks so much for joining. Today I'm gonna be doing some pixel art, and I want you to watch me do it. So what I'm doing today is I have I have a Twitter page. Pull that up. Looks like that. Some people like it, but those trees are just like a placeholder from like a year and a half ago, and I want to replace them. So I'm going to be working on an image that replaces that I can use in all my social media presences. Just a good old pretty banner. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So I spent some time dreaming up a palette of colors. I want it to be rainbow. I want it to be pretty. And I want it to match my profile image. So we have here, this is my beautiful mug. And this is the palette I think I might work with. And we can see that, do they share colors? Oh wait, aha. Share the same, some of the same colors. Dude, am I using that color? Using that color. That color. Okay, good. So I want them to use some of the same colors because that will make it look more cohesive and look like they go together. But I'm also going to add some new colors and not use all of the colors that from that image since I don't need all of them. Yeah, what we're going to do today. So I don't have a very solid concept for this image yet. I think I have the right image size. I got a set of colors to start with. I don't really know what I'm gonna do. I think maybe one idea I had is just like rainbow ribbon-like things going across the screen, and then just like doodles coming out of them of whatever the fuck. So I think I might try that at first, or I might try just doodling stuff and get a good collection of doodles. We'll see how that goes. I'm gonna put on some music for myself. Yeah, there we go. So let's get a new fresh sheet. Let's actually make this palette a proper palette by adding it. This is ASU Sprite, which is a really cool pixel editor, and you can actually kind of like construct a palette, and you can see it up in this upper left corner, so you don't actually need to do like I have and have these colors somewhere on your image to pick from. Palettes are really important in pixel art, so it's very useful to have these color ramps visible, so I might keep it anyways. Get that good brown. This color ramp is my favorite because it sort of gives the impression of like a light purple. But actually, like, this color is actually a brown, and this color is actually a yellow. But they look kind of purple because it's on a yellow background. Like, if we change that, they'd stand out more as yellow and brownish orange. But with that background, they kind of give the sense of like a purple watercolor on a yellow piece of paper, yellow tinted piece of paper. Oh yeah, I was just continuing to add my palette. Let's get that dark blue. Oh, there we go. I guess we'll add this too. We don't need it. Great. So, oh, it looks so pretty up there. It's so earth tone and rainbow. Let's get the preview set up. It's really important when making pixel art to like check the preview really often to make sure it looks good from a distance. Since when you get deep down into the details, it just looks like little jaggy lines. Whoa, whoa. There we go. Okay. So I think that we have a new sheet. Let's move this palette to its own layer so that we don't actually mess it up. And make some doodles. I don't know what I want to make. I definitely want a tree. Make a little pixel art tree. I also don't know what scale I want. Maybe smaller than that. So I don't have a plan in mind here. I'm just kind of like, I figure I'm gonna draw stuff. Or actually, let's do one of those cool horizontally type trees. Thinking one of those trees where like the leaves are mainly more of like horizontal slices rather than a big ol' vertical poof. I think those look very pretty. So I'm gonna make one of those. Try to. Make another layer underneath it so that I can just add some branches. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this, but I'm just trying to get some creative juices going. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. Kind of just throw things at the wall and see what sticks. If I like how something looks, then that gives me a sense of stuff I can add in the final banner image. What else can we do with these colors? So I'm still just playing around, just trying to get a sense of like what I could make out of these colors, and if something piques my interest, then I'll, ooh, that's a good shark color. I'm gonna make a shark out of that at some point. Maybe a way to do this would be, oh my god, I'm gonna make a beautiful shark. So, oh, that's too pale for a belly. Yeah, these colors might be a little too high contrast to do a lot of good stuff out of. So I might have to tweak the palette a little bit. But right now I'm just kind of color blocking stuff to get a sense of what we could build out of this palette. Make some cherries. Ooh. Are these stems brown or green? Looks better green. What can we do with yellow? Nice little sun. So like I said, the concept I'm going for is I just want a big old banner image with lots of just like random doodles strewn about, all brought together by the fact that they are the same color palette and kind of the same style. What is that? What is that green pixel? Oh, in the background there. No, no, no. Is that true? No. No, it's in the palette layer. No, no, no. Get out of here. Maybe we should try to make this beautiful. So I do have that concept of, I do like the idea of having ribbons of rainbow colors kind of going across. Maybe I should try to make those and see what those look like. And if that would even look good. I bet it will. Alright, let's start with a shape. Wow. And then clean it up a little bit, since I'm not really trying to get the exact lines yet. I'm just kind of get a concept, since I'm not super creatively inspired by this one. Ooh. Let's just see what a rainbow would look like with these colors. Oh. Do the more vibrant colors. Hi, Alec. Thanks for joining. I really like pixel art because it feels sort of like my sister was really good at sculpting and kind of like making things out of clay with her hands. And I feel like I was never very good at that. But I feel like pixel art is sort of a digital corollary to that, where you're kind of trying to chisel a shape out of pixels, which is much more grokkable to me. Let's do a little orange band here. Oh, good orange. We don't want that banding look, which is a no-no in the pixel art world. So banding is if you have like, whoa, if you have like, let's say you have this line and you want kind of like orange underneath it. It would look maybe not too good if you had it. Whoa, what are we gonna do? If you had it like this, because, and then it would be even worse if you did this again, where you had the yellow band underneath it, like that. So this is what we don't want to do, and this is really bad because from a distance, the eye sees this and you see kind of just these, you see these rectangle chunks. Merges down. Rather than seeing the band itself going across. So we want to do something to kind of disrupt that a little bit by like either not having these line up perfectly, maybe they overshoot or undershoot a little bit. And that's a little bit weird because then the thicknesses look a little varied and not perfect, but it's much better than them looking like blocks, Legos of color. And also they shouldn't do that when the line is curving anyway. Like here, this little pixel here should overshoot because that like an angle or whatever, it's curving, which means it needs to do that to maintain that visual thickness. I would also like it if maybe like the red line in the background was very thin and then the last line in the foreground was very thick. What would be the last line? So it's gonna go do. So I guess this violet would be the frontmost one. We'll get to that, I guess. Let's do yellow. So I think this is gonna work. I think this is gonna make a pretty rainbow. Actually, let's just do this. Make it easier for me. There we go. There we go. Now that they're on separate layers, I don't need to worry about like overwriting that orange line with this yellow line. It makes should have done that to begin with, and then we can fine tune this line. Ooh. Let's do that. Let's make this red line thinner. Is there an easy way we could do that? Do copy it, paste it. Ooh. Where are we? Oh, that's the palette. Let's delete, or rather, ooh. There you go. We got our red band on its own layer, which means we can probably just. What else is on? Bad palette. You have your own layer. There we go. So now if we just move this under, move this down a little, get it to be thinner. I actually want it to be thinner than that. So this didn't save time. This is a bad jaggy since it'll look like a little Sonic the Hedgehog spine coming out of the rainbow. So I want to get rid of that. Okay. Got that red one a little bit thinner. If I can, it's gonna be hard to make the orange one a little bit thinner, but I think I'm gonna try. It's also a really interesting thing about pixel art is you have these discrete choices of like, I can make this orange band appear thinner by kind of like removing pixels from the edge like this, but I can only do that so much before it starts to look like it wobbles and varies in width and thickness. And I can only do that so much because there's a minimum thickness possible. Okay, I'm gonna make this yellow line a little thicker. A good yellow too. Let's do. Oh well, what? Oh no, what keeps happening there? Where? There we go. Merge this down, make a new layer underneath it so we can do our green one much quick. Oh. It's reminding me of like Fantasia. Like that. This damn Pegasi. I liked the you know what I liked about the Final Fantasy? The Fantasia, that one with the Pegasi. The thing that I really liked is there is a scene where There's a rainbow going overhead, and like one of the little Pegasi I think tries to like drink it and splashes in it. And I just, as a kid, was like, oh, I love the idea of just like drinking a like rainbow water, like drinking rainbow. I bet it would taste really good. That is something that stands out to me from Fantasia, aside from the weirdly racist things that appear every now and then in that, which also on a recent rewatching was reminded of. Forgot about the weirdly racist things in that. Kind of a shame. Actually, very much of a shame. Working on our blue line. This is less a ribbon and more just a rainbow, really. So I'm gonna need to think about. I kind of do want it to look more like a ribbon, like something with material. Is this the right? No. There we go. So I think I'm gonna need to figure out how to do that. Probably by introducing some shading and having it kind of like coil and move around the way, like having it like twist and then having the underside of that twist be dark, so this looks less like a rainbow and more like a rainbow colored piece of ribbon or something like that. And that's probably the yeah. But I want to see if this rainbow works. That looks kind of nice. I'm mostly checking like whoops. I'm mostly checking to make sure that the colors will work well as a rainbow. These lines are, this like red line is still a little jerky. Oh. But I'm not gonna fix it up right now. Just want to get a sense of it. I could make like a rainbow sea out of that. Just relive my joys of watching Fantasia and make like some rainbow puddles of water. That would be really hard to get across. Maybe not. We'll see. Okay. I like the rainbow ribbon idea. I think I'm gonna concept it out. So I like to make new layers. And the reason I like to do that is, or not new layers, new animation frames, which is sort of inappropriate because we're not making an animated image, but I like to do it because you can kind of look back and see what you've drawn. So that's kind of, and if you just do layers, it grows vertically only. All of your like drawings, like you'll just get tons and tons of layers and need to hide them and show them again. If you have animation frames, you can just kind of left and right through them and it grows horizontally, and there's much more space to grow horizontally. So that's how I like to do. Okay, let's just, if I had ribbons, what would they do? Let's do, I want to have enough room for doodles and stuff. I'm also not too worried if this looks rough because I know from experience we can just fix it up really easy. What? Nah, not that one. Let's have it going across like this. That, yeah. I also make pixel art with a trackpad, which I realize is also a little unconventional. I don't know how I got stuck with just preferring to work on a trackpad. I think because pixel art allows you to do that. You can kind of go in and like if you're making a work in like Photoshop, you need to like make a brush stroke and if it doesn't look good, you need to erase it and try the brush stroke again. In pixel art, you can just like go in and change the pixels one by one. So I think I've gotten used to using a trackpad and have not too much reason to switch to a mouse or something, other than it would be easier to make lines like this. do like that little explosion. But I also like the swoop across. I think the swoop across. Maybe spirals isn't the right thing either. Or curls, rather. Well, you can curl ribbon. Ooh, that would look good if it was like curled real tight like that. Like when you're preparing like a birthday present and you curl ribbon real tight, makes those coils. I should do some of those. Try drawing one of them. I want to try drawing one. Let's get a reference. Ribbon coil. Ooh, sure. Okay. So this is the sort of thing, whoops, we're going for. I kind of want it to be not oriented totally vertically. So it has this like wavy look before it gets oily. And then the idea is like this little coil could like dissolve into a doodle somehow. And like, you know, like this little blue coil of ribbon would turn into sharks at the end of it or something. Something fun. I think that's what I would eventually like to do with this. So drawing a ribbon. I have to figure out where the lighting is coming from too, which is a little tricky because the colors I chose are sort of flat. It's sort of like the colors are inspired by watercolor on paper. Which, except unlike watercolor, I can't mix colors too well unless I want to add them into my palette, and I want to keep my palette relatively small because pixel art. So, got some challenges to confront. But the idea is, if they're kind of like watercolor colors in pixel art world, that isn't the best for shading. So I'm gonna drawing like the front facing coils here. Yeah. Then these lines aren't perfect yet either. That's okay. Make a tiny coil. Still kind of just in the fooling around phase. I don't know if this is actually gonna pan out, but this is pretty much how I do. How I make art is kind of just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. I feel like as an artist, I'm much less. I don't have as much a sense of like I can start something and know ahead of time that it will turn out well. I kind of have to do it and see like, oh no, this is not gonna pan out. That's the only way I have, the only tool I really have for figuring out if I like something. Okay, let's try doing the undersides. See what that would look like. Make these the brighter blue. And then underneath we'll have the, whoops. We'll have the darker blue. Uh-huh. Doo-ba-doo. So I need to think about the physics, the physical aspects of this material. So it looks a little fat right now, and I want it to look like a flat shape. I don't want it to look like it has thickness. I don't want this to look like a tentacle. I want it to look like a ribbon. And one way to do that is ribbons, when they're coiling, have when the perspective is such that you just see the side of them, they're super thin. So I want to definitely include aspects of that. Doesn't look great. It's something. Doo-ba-doo. What else can we do with if we really use that concept, that idea of ribbons as a material? What else do they do that? Well, I do have that nice wavy line over here. I actually like that too, which is kind of like the upper part of this. I'm gonna do some of that. Oh, you know what I just thought of is, like, I remember in like those Czech classes. Oh, this should be thin. Um, there are those wires that are like uh thick, flat rainbow cables. Let's see if I can find one. Cable. I always thought those looked very pretty. Yeah. Look at that. So that's maybe something to draw a little bit inspiration from too. And that's definitely different, because those are, I don't think I want to recreate those, but interesting. I don't know. Those are just very pretty. Or this one. Yeah. One of the fat ones with all the colors. Maybe that's what inspired me. Maybe that got into my head way back when. And that's why I'm doing this now. That doesn't look bad. It needs work. The lines need to be redone. The edges need to be redone. But I kind of like the look of that. I think it could use a little more energy in it. And then I need to, what would it look like for this to turn into doodles? Oh, I would need to, I do want a shark. I do want to draw a shark. Have to be pretty tiny pixel art doodle too. So I think this is 400 by 180, which is a decently, that's a lot of space to work in, but I also want to put a lot on here. I want it to be filled. Make it bending upwards. So this is our body of a shark. Maybe even more. Yeah. Make her blue. Beautiful blue shark. And some beautiful sharky fins. And beautiful sharky mouth. Beautiful sharky eyeball. Want it to look mad. How can we do that? I only have so many colors. We can make this. Sharky. Um. Yeah. Beauty. So how would, if I wanted to stick with the idea of like ribbons that turn into doodles, how would I accomplish that? How could I connect this to that? I mean, actually, this could just literally connect to it. It's cute. Do make those different. This different. Work to have a red eye. Evil. No. Okay, so this would, it looks a little goofy right now, but it would look better if we had other little fishies. And then it would give it more the impression that, and maybe the fishies closer to the ribbon could look like they're also de-ribbiting. And then this will make it look more like it is ribbon transforming in a sense. Alright. That's a cool, I like that. I mean, again, this is not at all final or done or good, but I'm just trying to get ideas, and I like that idea. So then, what else can we do? Let's make this into make this into a nice green, pretty green ribbon. Green ribbon. Maybe it could be a green ribbon that turns into tree branches. I feel like I want to give into the, like this line. Don't want to like just have each ribbon turn into obvious things of the color that they are, but huh. This is a really pretty line. I like that line. So I might try to recreate it. Ben. This is what I was talking about with pixel art's a little easier in that you can kind of, brush strokes can be faked with just like poking at pixels. I think what I like about it is this little double back. Right. Not quite, but it's actually an interesting line. That's dope. I like that. I think I need to start thinking about overall composition, because if I have all these like ribbons and stuff, I don't want it to just be scattered about. I want it to kind of have a overall flow to it. So I think I need to keep switching back between looking at the details and then looking at holistically how this is all going to come together. What did I try before? Cool. I do like, I think this one works a little bit better, where it's lots of ribbons coming together and then kind of like peeling apart and doing their own thing. I do like that. We had, what do we had, like one that ended in a bouquet of flowers. Maybe it could be the green one. And then that also gets rid of, I didn't want just every ribbon to kind of like end in a thing of that color. So I think I like the idea of like the green ribbon ending in a bouquet of a nice little burst of red. It seems nice to me. And then I'm just stubbing out what it would look like with those. It was weird. They always have in those bouquets of flowers those white fluffy things that just seem there to like, they're like the celery of the flower world. They're just there to like tack them on for the ride. I didn't want this much celery. I didn't want all these white poofy things. I don't know what they are, but they're always there. So that's a cool idea. What other colors are we missing? Need a pretty yellow one. God, that's a good yellow. And what could that do? We could have one just turn into like liquid. Maybe an orange one too. So it could be cute to have two ribbons spiraling around each other. I think that would be a pretty shape. Of what color combinations would look best? Blue and a purple. So do blue and red. Looks fine. Green and purple. Fine. I like that. I like that too. But we already have this. Ooh, maybe it could be like a red ribbon and a green ribbon coming together and then they explode like that. And maybe even a little purple ribbon. Huh. A cute idea. Just joining, I'm trying to make a new banner image for my online presences. The concept I have right now is a bunch of colored ribbons that kind of explode or turn into just random pixel art doodles of whatever I want to draw right now, right here. So that's kind of the concept, and I'm right now just playing with the idea, just trying to figure out what's possible. What else can ribbons do? I'm gonna search for pretty ribbons. Oh, they can be a bow. That's also a cool idea. What's a bow look like here? A little loop. A little loop. A little centerpiece thing. And then this guy's coming down. That'd be fun. Kinda just want to draw some mini trees. I like drawing trees in pixel art land. I don't know. It's just like, I think it's cool to see nature represented in digital forms. Just because, like, my God, isn't what we're doing right here the least natural thing in the world? We're like on an electricity powered hunk of metal. But it's kind of interesting that even in that context, you can kind of create beautiful natural forms too. That's a cool shape for a tree. Maybe we could make a little bonsai. Put it in a little bonsai bucket. Again, these are not final lines or shapes at all, and I am not adding detail to these specifically because I want to kind of explore what's possible. and oh, sorry. And this is basically like my sketch pad right now. Is instead of pen and papering it, I am just doodling some stuff and seeing what sticks, and then we'll take the best ideas, we'll make a proper, well-made line art out of them. That's cute. I like that. I'm using a lot of combinations of red and green between this and the flowers, so maybe I want to try see what it would look like if it was pretty blue. Vase or whatever the hell this is. I don't even know what it is really. Name again, just around. Eh. Still have to figure out what to do with play with gold. I do like the idea of a sun. Beautiful little pixels then. I think this will go well with some blotches. Sun color. Maybe we can figure out how to do some cloud-like outlines. How that could work. Yeah, I think that would be fun. What colors aren't showing up here? What am I not playing with enough? Got some blue, got some green, red. Not really doing much with orange or the purple, which isn't even purple. It's actually just like gray. It's basically just gray. But I just think that's such a cool thing. So like perceptually, if you were to just have like this, what? You just have like this and you were to just put gray on top of it, it looks purple, because if you were to put purple on top of yellow paint or color in the real world, they would combine to make gray. So your mind thinks that must be gray because purple was added to it, therefore it is purple. So I just think a little bit of color theory goes a long way for shit like this. Let's get these out of here. I kind of like the idea of a sort of a forest blossoming, like a lot of these little trees. I mean, I like the idea of miniatures a lot, like little things that are smaller than they should be. This implies a kind of interesting perspective. We don't have a good dark green, which sucks. So I might have to add that to the palette to get a little depth out of these green tree blobs at some point. I also like the idea of a tiny little city. Maybe we could mock that up and let's try mocking it. Just do a skyline. I'd like that. I do want these like ribbons to be like having a little bit of depth to them, so I think I might, rather than make a skyline, I might want to have like a little town, but like one with some perspective to it as well. Again, these bad lines. Just seeing what sticks. Maybe it could be a little town on a mountain. run out of space. That's okay. Mock up a quick mountain. The other cool thing is that if you have a big old block of this color that might look like purple because it's on a slightly yellow background, if you have a big enough block of it, it sort of just looks gray because your eyes don't see it next to the yellow as much. So we can also just use it as gray if we use it. Our snow-covered peak. What would it look like if there were little buildings? Maybe not red. Let's do... yeah, that's nice. Little road going up. Cute. Do a little forest. Those trees are too light to be on that. But I do need that intermediate color green, that slightly dark green. I don't think I need it as much for the other. Well, I might need it. Don't need it for the yellow and orange. I might need it for the blue. Something to cover the gap between. Especially for the green, since doing a little bit of color shifting in our palette to reuse colors. So the blue color ramp has these 3 nice blues to it, and then the green color ramp is actually reusing that blue, the darkest green, which lets us save on our palette. But I think I am gonna, so the blue can cover. I could either change this color to be more green, or I could add another color. I think I'm gonna add another color. Go in between. I think I want a subtler. Yeah. A little less saturated. Lighter. Darker. Yeah. Yeah, somewhere around there. I think I'm gonna add this color. And this is part of the good of like doing this sketching, especially doing the sketching in a pixel art program, is if I was just doodling this, I wouldn't really have a good sense of how many colors I needed. But by doing it in here, I can kind of get a sense of like, yeah, that looks better. And yeah, I can add a little bit of shading here now because I have that extra green. And like the opposite side of this is maybe I won't need so many yellows or oranges and I'll take them out, or maybe I'll need to add them. So yeah, well, this has given me some ideas. I think I'm gonna probably end the stream there. This has been fun though. I think I'm gonna keep iterating on this. I might stream that as well. But other than that, I'm probably gonna stream a lot of game development since a lot of people seem interested in that. Let me switch this over. So yeah, I plan to stream Pico 8 development, maybe some other pixel art, things like that. So if you're interested in that, stop on by sometime. All right, thanks so much for watching.